Welcome back to another installment of Panzer Campaigns Tunisia 43. Glad to be here. I am just starting turn 9. I've fired my artillery and probably made a couple of moves, but generally this is a fresh turn. We need to have a discussion about the British First Army. I'm going to come back to that once I get to those units, but they're really in a tough place right now. Just to illustrate, I'm talking about the 4th Infantry, 4th Infantry Mixed. They're spread way too thin. They've got too much stuff going on, and I need to pull back from one location or the other and figure out how I can unscrew this situation. Anywho, I'm going to come back to that, and in the meantime, I am going to actually, I have some action items here that I wanted to take a look at. I have reconstitute E Company of the, let's see, the 2nd French Africa Corps. But I've got, I think I have more than one to do here. Yeah, so let me reconstitute a couple of these units. This is the 1st, the 2nd, and the 2nd. Well, these, see, I think that these guys have kind of a screwy structure, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, good. So they're constituted, smoothed out their fatigue, and this is the one, maybe? No, this is the 1st. So this is also the 1st, and then this is the, oh goodness, C Company. Okay, I think I've got it. Oh yeah, I've got a handy dandy thing for this, don't I? Alright, so these two belong together. Where does this guy belong? Ah, he belongs over to the west. So basically I've just got like 2 battalions, 3 battalions in this regimental sized unit. Alright, so both of these are disrupted. Now I want to ideally push them north. I don't want to push them up on that hill. I am going to see, perhaps I can move this unit here to further encourage them to move in the right direction. I want them moving up this road. Oh, that's interesting. Seems to be a, interesting. It's rubble, but also entrenched. I've never seen that. Oh no, I moved both my units here. Alright, I'm gonna cheese this since this is the first move that I've done on this save. Yeah. Don't hate me. Okay, so back to what I was doing. Just move this one unit. Yeah, alright. There we go. So here comes my assault. Full battalion here versus up to, call it 200 men. Failed on the assault and disrupted the unit. I probably should have attacked with both. That's okay, won't work the problem. I'm gonna ramble philosophically for a moment here. I feel like I've started to get good enough at this game that I can like kind of understand situations that are frustrating and that aren't working out in my favor, which is a very valuable thing to have, or like a skill to have, although I wouldn't necessarily call that a skill. That was a good assault, killed 86 of theirs, so we are indeed working the problem. Let's see, what else do I got? Anything? Yeah, I got a shot here. So anyhow, kind of the point that I'm making is that, how do I put it? I'm gonna hang back this unit. Basically, like, it's annoying that it's frustrating, but it's good that I'm learning about the game, and I can take that frustration and mold it into, you know, enhancements to my knowledge, enhancements to my skill. So I'm looking for ways to be better at this game. And I feel like I don't have a complete handle on all of the mechanics as of yet. I'd like to say I do, but what I really need to do is go back at this point. I've been playing this game for 5 months now, and I really need to go back and read the entire manual, I think. Oh, you know what? Alright, so I want to take care of the rest of my task list here. Okay, so I combined, one of these units. There's still a bunch, so I'm going to just leave that on my task list. I also have a unit in the 34th that wants recombining, which is a company. This company wants to be recombined with, they're far. Yeah, they're over here. That's okay. So I do remember that. Now, 134.39, I have a note to destroy a bunker. Let's see. AI view. Locations. Where's the find hex? Hex my coordinate. Okay, so 134 and 39. Okay. I see. So let me take a look here. Yep, there it is. Alright, great. So, yeah, I gotta deal with this. Well, actually, I could probably leave it alone. I don't want to, though. Alright, so that remains. And what's the hotkey here? Not that I use this a ton. I don't use this feature a ton, but when I do use it, it is useful. So 147.52, this area contains a tank destroyer. Okay. So I don't see that tank destroyer now, but he's out and about for sure. 148.50. 148, I think I'm close. 148.50. Recon digging in here. Okay, so basically this area that is the border between 34th Infantry and 1st Infantry is kind of hot. So I'm going to leave these action items open. I'll tick them off as I kind of move past those areas. Let's see. So I moved all of the French units. I could stand to move that artillery pretty... he's got good range. Alright. Moving on to Varsity. I will take these... Oh good, we got a disruption on them. I think I'm just gonna keep shooting. Like, I want to eliminate these guys, and I don't feel like an assault is necessarily gonna be the way to go. We're tearing them up. Killed quite a few. They did do a defensive fire with no effect. I have my AT gun here, which is good because I'll need it, because there's a armored recon car right here that's digging in. I'll leave them there for now. I'll move my HQ unit up to this trench, and that is the... Oops. Alt Q. That is the 39th Regiment of the 9th Infantry Division. Next, I'm looking at the 47th Regiment, which has a broken commander. So I went back and I was reading the rules around this disruption recovery. At the beginning of each player turn, there's a test to determine if disrupted and broken units on that side recover. The closer a disrupted or broken unit is to its HQ, and the higher its morale, the better its chances of recovery are. So basically, what I wasn't sure of is whether broken units can recover, and they can, only if they are not at maximum fatigue. This unit is not at maximum fatigue. And also, I know that headquarters units can, like, reconstitute themselves. But but I think they have to be like annihilated. So broken units also cannot move essentially towards the enemy, I guess, but I don't know. Let me move there. So I'm gonna move my division commander on top of him, Major General Eddie, so that hopefully I get a good shot at. He's got a good command range. Hopefully I get a good shot at getting some recovery. So this is my okay, cannons and cannons. I'll go ahead and move. Let me see here. I have no spotters for him. Let's see, do I have any recon over here? So thinking about the rest of the 9th Infantry, I've got the, let's see, I've got the 47th Regiment and the 60th Regiment. So why don't I take the 47th, I don't love this. I kind of split this up weird. And I also do need to detach a unit to go handle this this bunker down here. Okay, so the 47th is going to take the right flank. The 60th will be in the middle, coming up on Bald Hill. I'm looking at kind of, let me strategize for a second here. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how far out I need to push, because this is all broken terrain. Which is, well, there's some broken terrain, it's like, or sorry, rough terrain, which is crossable by infantry. These are my guys from the 47th, which will be forever out of command. They'll be detached and low ammo, I think, for the majority of this scenario, unless I can recover their HQ. So, dang it. Alright. Take a decision. I'm gonna go ahead, which one is which? 60th. Alright, let's go ahead with the 60th. The 1 battalion, 2 battalion, and then this battalion over here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this battalion because they're hopefully not going to be low on ammo, and move him in that direction. I would move this one from the Red Bull. I could give him some support with a tank unit from the 1st Armored. Let's do that. Let's see, there's no visual here. Yeah, okay. Alright, good. So now on to the 47th. They'll move. I would like to get a unit over here to hold this flank position. Let's take. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I had any recon over here. I don't. Actually, I've got the recon from the 1st Armored. Where can you get to, sir? This one's on a half track. Let's push up here. He is a soft half track, so actually I have this right up here. Soft half track. Can move on broken and rough, but it takes their entire movement. So let's go ahead and I want to cover this flank, basically, is what I'm after. There's this gap between the 2 units, recon unit. Okay, so these considered motorized, and motorized cannot move, or it can move on. It says it can, but I think that that's not true. Or Maybe it's because they don't have enough movement to actually do that. Maybe that's the way that the game calculates it. Anyhoot. Yeah, I come up here. Okay. Oh, here's my, this is where my 9th recon is. I've got both of them up here. Why don't I just use them to take care of this darn bunker? Okay. So let's do that. The recon units will support this battalion. We might not even need them. Okay, so all that being said, here goes my 47th Infantry, and I wanted to block this section here with this engineer unit, just to be on the safe side. Really, the rest of these guys can move up. I'm going to put them over this hill at Jebel El Ashred. And where's my... Yeah, here it is, my AT gun for them. So let's go ahead and move them up. Low fuel, again, because of the disruption of my, or sorry, the breaking of my, I gotta get on top of Bald Hill. The breaking of my headquarters units. Okay, up on Bald Hill, and my AT gun can get up there too. This is, let's see, I've got my tank destroyer. This is just attached to the division, so he's just kind of hanging out. I also have, what's this, my artillery. This is my, yeah, this is all my artillery over here. So, this is for the 60th. Move that artillery up here. Okay, so they come with 1 battalion, and this is the tank destroyer that I'm looking at, the T-12 GMC with the 75mm gun. I had previously split this unit. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So, actually, I'm going to do this a little bit. Well, it should be okay. So I'm going to split these up because we're going to be relatively spread out. And I want to have flexibility in all sectors to counter armor. So, what kind of unit is this? This is a hard half-track. So if I look at that, got good movement. Alright, good. I want to put him in travel mode though. I'll let him go farther. Now, this is where the game will get you if you're looking at the screen, because I can tell you, and I'm going to prove this out just right quick. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the game is smart enough, but like, something that I still have a lot of trouble with this game is the pathing algorithm. It doesn't tell you how it's going to get to the place where it's going, and it will be wildly reckless about doing that. So if I saved my game there just so I can demonstrate, I'm going to move this. Okay, so in that case, it actually went really well. It went the direction that I wanted, but in some cases it'll do wacky stuff, like it'll go right up to this trench line and just be like, oh yeah, I can't get there, sorry. So, or sometimes what it'll do is like bounce. It'll pass by an enemy unit to get to a primary road or something when you really didn't want it to do that, because then it gets defensive fire. Alright, continuing on. This unit is fine to be over here. He'll move up next turn. So continuing on, this tank destroyer will go with the 47th Infantry. Is that right? Or is that the 60th? Yeah, the 60th. Okay. So there's artillery. This is a unit from the 47th, which actually still has ammo. I think it's just because I haven't fired. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my artillery kind of, well, let me move the rest of my units first. This is the commander for the 60th. It's the cannon for the 47th. So yeah, I might as well move you up. Okay, that's great. I already sorted out those headquarters. This is the cannon for the 39th. Alright, and this engineer, whenever he gets undisrupted, I'll start digging in to get Fort Trench there. And I think that's it for the 9th. And yeah, he can stay out and recover fatigue. One thing that I'm noticing in this scenario, at least compared to the other scenario that was close to this size that I've played, is one out of France 40, where the French were, well, the units that I was fighting in Holland, they were not nearly as effective as these Axis soldiers, and I'm finding that my units in this scenario are quite a bit higher fatigue, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's something that I need to consider at least as I decide where to engage my guys and how to move them about. Keep in mind things like rotating units out as I can. I've heard other people say that they do that, and I think it's worth doing. I don't know what I'm not sure how to put it. I'm not sure what the correct technical implementation of that is, like what kind of tips to give you about rotating your units out, but I know that people do it, so I'm going to do it too. Next up, we have the Red Bull 34th Infantry Division. Nope, sorry, I'm working on the 1st Armored in conjunction, I guess you could say, with Red Bull. I tend to move these guys kind of at the same time. So I am going to, let's see, I've got engineers over here. Let me blast on these fools first off. Alright, excellent. So that unit is done, and I can move my tanks, although, well, let me see here. This is a minefield 2, so it's going to take 2 turns. This is a minefield 1. I do have engineers to get to both. No. I think if I have, oh, these are battalion size engineer units. Okay, good to know. Basically, yeah, we'll just go ahead and move. This is indeed the core unit, so move you up here. Get my AT gun. This is for, they're way out of position. Okay. Some artillery over here. Alright. Moving up my guns. This is my cannon over here. Alright. We've got some Fallschirmjäger. Oh, move you over that direction. So we've got some Fallschirmjäger over here, and they are weak and pathetic right now. We've been shelling the hell out of them. Let me see. Assault 16, Assault 7. Okay, let's do something like this. I'm trying to think basically how much of kind of this clump worth of movement points I want to use. I'd like to conserve them so I can push through this way, but the fact of the matter is, because of the terrain here, I can't push through this way. I can't push through this way. I can't push through this way. I've got to go this way, which means that if I examine the terrain here, oops. So in any case, they're going to have to get up a hill, well, I should say these tanks are going to have to get up a hill. And I think that means that they will not move very far. They'll move a few hexes if I can get these entrenched units out of the way. So let's work on that. Let's do it this way. Little pre-assault bombardment. I think I can actually cut these guys off. I moved this unit prematurely. Alright, so they're surrounded. Can't move anywhere. This may take repeated assaults in that case. Crap. Blast. That didn't work. I was hoping they'd have points left over. I'm tempted, because, like, I don't know if the assault is really going to do what I want it to. I'll go ahead with it. I'm going to assault with these. See how that does. Yeah. 89 kills. These guys are not having a good time. So let's go ahead and light them up. And then we'll assault again with these, with the 1st Battalion and the 1st Tank Battalion. So it's a bummer we can't move through, but doing a lot of damage. They're resilient. There's a lot of them. Or maybe, well, that 89 casualties, I guess it could have been split between the two. So there's another 37. I guess, oh, these are, I want to get these guys moving. I was going to say I'd use them to aid in the assault, but I don't want to do that. I want to support the 9th Infantry with some additional recon units and push forward. And they are, again, these are soft half tracks, so they should be able to move on the rough, same as hard half tracks. Not great. Yeah, I'm gonna need to find a different route there. Maybe. Well, we'll see. Okay. All these are moved. Let's move you up. I was resting this unit, but okay. All done. Now these tanks here. Yeah, see, this is how they'll try and get me. Alright. So that is the, let's see, that's the majority of the 1st Armored Division. I am going to go ahead and attempt to reconstitute them. Make sure I'm going about this the right way. Yeah. artillery. I'm not particularly worried about it. Well, being out of position, I was gonna say, it's our headquarters. Oh, what are you doing over here? Where's the headquarters for 1st Armored? This was the one, I think the 1st Armored, like, doesn't have a headquarters or something. Yeah, I feel like they don't actually have a headquarter. Headquarters units. Patton. Let's see, this is the 135th Infantry. Yeah, that's Red Bull. I know this is terribly exciting. Okay. So, next up, alright, I moved that. Let me figure out Red Bull over here. Alright, so next up I have, I actually have both of the tank destroyers. Well, I have a tank destroyer battalion from my core troops and from the 1st Armored. So both of those are already here. I'm going to move them up here to engage with this armored recon unit. Nice. And then another hit for this gun down here. One gun. So let's see it. Okay. Not a 1, not even fatigue. Come on. Returns fire. Okay. Well. Alright. Let's go ahead with it. Got a gun down. Assault failed. Let's assault again. Okay, good. We got him. And our first victory point. Huzzah. At 956 points. I need 8,000 for a major. This one is worth 100, so everything else that I've gotten has just been from kills, I think. Right? It's the only victory point I have. Yeah. Alright, cool. Next up, I'm working on these Fallschirmjäger. I have a disrupted AT gun. Fallschirmjäger are not disrupted. They are, however, in travel mode. So I'm going to take advantage of that. So there's the disruption, and I guess I'm just going to go ahead and let me shoot at them with these guys. I'm going to assault through this trench, and I don't think I'll be able to get these units up close this turn, so let's just keep firing for now. We'll assault. Yeah, dang it. Alright. That was, I have a, what is this, a recon unit that is in a half track, which is why I couldn't perform that assault, because this hex is rough terrain. Okay, so that was a successful assault to disrupt them. we didn't get through. They couldn't move, it said. Which I don't understand that. They have plenty of spots to move. Okay, so tanks are up. Getting some ridiculous kills. I love shooting at transporting units. That is one of my hobbies. Okay, let's see here. So here's the AT gun for the 135th Regiment, which is here. Okay. We'll go ahead and move you here. Take some defensive fire. It's a little risky. Moving that AT gun up there. As I've stated previously, I am going to attempt to save my AT resources for tanks. We'll see how it goes. I can't move these guys up. Alright. I already moved you. Next up is my recon. So, yeah. Okay. Alright, we have found, well, I don't know for sure, but this looks like an entire infantry regiment here. Possibly more. Could be about 2 infantry regiments. So, I'm going to back off this a little bit, and I need to reorientate some troops to get into the right position to defend over here. Let's trench line. Ah, crap, I can't. Okay. Well, I need something in case these, I need something in case this infantry, they would be able to move, let's see, assuming they have 24 movement points here, they would be able to move on clear terrain a lot. 4 hexes. So they would be able to, let's see, they would be able to move 1, 2, 3. They wouldn't be able to shoot, so that's good. Alright. Now they would be able to shoot if they got up to 2 hexes here, so I'm actually going to hang these recon units back and not move them up into a blocking position because they don't need to be. This infantry, this Axis infantry here will not be able to shoot at my recon unit even if it does move forward. Assuming my math is correct. Now that they might have other units up here. I'll take a look with my spotting ability. Nothing. Okay. What else is here to move? I have infantry. Love moving my, oh, I clicked something. Alright. That is a pretty useful hotkey, by the way, is apostrophe, or your quote key. And what that does is that it takes your, I think it describes it as special hexes or something. What is it? Specials on top is the hotkey, and it shows you, like, even if you have a unit that's in a trench, it's going to show you the trench instead of the unit that's in the trench. Same for mines and I don't know, other things that modify hexes. Okay, so now I did have a note over here that this area here has at least a tank destroyer, probably a dug-in recon unit. So I'm very cautious advancing here. I have my infantry from, this is the 168th. Where's the rest of your unit? Where's your other battalion? 168th. 168. Is your headquarters? Okay. Okay. Ah. I think that, okay, that's fine. think of how I want to position myself here. Not really. Oh, here's that tank destroyer. Excellent, we found him. Now I have a tank destroyer to kill this tank destroyer. This, actually, I was watching a YouTube video, I think, about this one. Hetzer, it was called? Maybe. I don't know if this is the right unit. Maybe somebody in the comments can answer what this tank destroyer is. But I have my core tank destroyers here, so I'll be able to counter pretty well. I've got 33 vehicles in this group. Took a little fatigue. Let's hit them. Nice. 2 vehicles and a disruption. Excellent. They got one of ours. Fatigue on that. I am going to move my AT gun up as long as I can take it out of movement mode. Now, this does leave, well, let's see, this is rough terrain and this is going to be a tracked unit, so they cannot move to, oh, excuse me, they cannot move to, oh, they can move there through there, but they won't be able to shoot. Still, if he wanted to break through here, he could go here and then here. But he would, yeah, he would be able to get through. I don't think they are smart enough to do that, and also that would be super duper risky, and if he wants to do that, he can, because I'll kill him. And that, I think, is it for, no, I have my artillery here. So let's go ahead and get this moved up. This is my artillery for Red Bull. Okay. I'm gonna get him. Yeah, let's just go ahead and deploy that. That should be, no, it's not gonna be sufficient. Okay, I'm just gonna, I think, move all of this up as close in as I can. It is annoying that I won't be able to shoot with my artillery, but let's see. So one of these engineers I want to get down to support Red Bull, but the other one can come up with the 1st Division. Okay. So these units are moved. You are unavailable. We'll put you up here and you up here. Good. Everyone in the first half of 2nd Corps is moved. Excellent. Now on to my 1st Infantry Division. So I need to stay on top of my recon. We've made it to the kind of entryway to the Tyne River. I wonder where this goes. Here. Yeah, I guess it just kind of runs out. Maybe it hooks into the Majira or feeds from some other river. Tyne River is up here as well. Yeah, I guess it feeds from a couple other rivers. Okay, so let us continue on. I have my recon unit here, which I'm going to go ahead and okay. Now I have to handle some other stuff over here. I don't have any engineers over here. So I'm kind of in a tricky spot. This is the 16th Infantry Regiment. This is also the 16th Infantry Regiment. This is also the 16th Infantry Regiment, so we'll move them up like this. Divisional Commander, the Commander of the 16th Regiment, the Commander of the 18th Regiment, which is... yeah, where's 1st Division? 18th is... ugh, out of position. Where's my other 26th? Everybody's kind of screwy right now. We're mixed up in different ways, but I have all my battalions at least. I have to sort my lines. So 18th, and 18th. So yeah, you'll go ahead here while the engineers move back, actually, and my remaining infantry from the 26th moves up and over and shoots. All my engineers are over here. Okay, more defensive fire, lots more defensive fire. Okay. I am going to move this engineer up here. That was probably pretty silly, I guess, to do it that way. I don't want to get too far ahead here. So let's kind of, well, crap. I'm gonna stick to the high ground. Put this tank destroyer over here. Oh, another thing that I've kind of come to notice is that if you have a unit, even if it's not in travel mode, you can still hit the save function, the save travel, and what's it called? Save movement cost, and that will leave you with enough movement cost to fire. So that's pretty cool too. What else? I've got this gun up here, which I can't really put anywhere. Put it here. That'll be fine. And then, where's just this? This is the 18th. Okay. I'll keep you on the elevated high ground for now. This is my tank destroyer. We'll put you... this is just my dedicated tank destroyer battalion, so we'll put you somewhere. This unit is split up, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine then. We want this tank destroyer down here. Okay. This is the AT gun for the 26th Battalion. I can't disembark him, so... oops. Okay. What else? Okay, you're moved. Yeah, I'll just have him hang out. And then I have my other unit of tank destroyers here. Lots of defensive fire. Didn't realize these guys were disrupted. That means I can assault, although I'm going to wager the tank destroyers have pretty awful assault values, and I'm right. I'm going to go ahead with it. Let's get him out of this trench. It worked. Success. Didn't take a lot of... oh, and I can move my gun up too. Well, not all the way. But, okay, so they have another trench line here. This unit's disrupted. These units are less than 100 men, so that's good for me. Here's my engineer. I'll go ahead and move them because they're good assaulters. So, and actually, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move this tank destroyer unit up as well because, broken, yeah, I'm gonna need the extra firepower, I think. Put the anti-tank gun here so that I can pick which hex I want to move to next turn. It might depend. And that is going to be it for the 1st Infantry Division. Check something here. Don't look at my messy file structure. Okay. All right. So that's U.S. Second Corps, and I am getting ready to move on to First Army. I want to talk about this, and I don't know, probably by the time that anybody watches this video, I'll have figured out exactly what I want to do, but basically, what I'm kind of getting at here is that I don't have enough infantry. Like, I don't have enough men over here to crack everything that's going on. So let's review. The left flank of the 1st Army is helmed by the 78th Infantry Division, which is doing pretty good. I think I'm going to be able to get out this trench, which means I'll push forward here. I can keep applying pressure to this trench over here with the green guards. I want to find that other unit. Third Welsh guards. Yeah. Watch me do admin. Okay. Okay. All right, and I know I have another. Yeah, here they are. So over on this flank, I mean, we'll crack this bunker eventually. This road up to Longstop Hill, that's going to be a pain point. Really, where I'm getting into it though is that, like, over in this section, man, I'm getting my butt kicked. They have so many guns. So that's one. Peter's Corner is supposed to be being taken on by the 4th Mixed Infantry, but I'm in over my head over here. And the reason that I'm in over my head is, like, yeah, they've got this stuff going on over here, so, you know, I can't get through this with 2 battalions and a recon car, a disrupted recon car. These guys, this is a single battalion, so I have to withdraw here, and what I need to do is form a line, because what's happening with the 4th Infantry, and I don't like this, I want to be able to continue to push, but what's happening with the 4th Infantry here is a real problem because all their tanks are over here engaged with the 10th Panzer. Now they are being backed up by the 7th Armored Division, or 6th Armored Division, whichever armored brigade is theirs, but I still am seeing that I'm stretched too thin. Now, the saving grace here is the 46th Infantry here in pink, but realistically, the infantry is not going to be able to get there for... It might not even be until night. So, you know, I'll get some units through, and that's all good, but they're pushing in a lot of directions right now. They're coming up on this group of tigers, which is however many, and that's very dangerous. So I just have to be cautious. And then, again, the 6th Infantry or the 6th Armored Division is also spread out. Neither of these divisions kind of have what, like, their full fighting strength. And something that I kind of read and hear about with a lot of these books related to the military history for World War II is like you need your full unit in order for it to be effective at what it does. They're supposed to fight together. Anyhow, so I've got a lot more action to go on, but I think that I will probably call it here and pick it up next time. That'll be with the First Army. So, good talk. I'd be curious to hear people's thoughts. Anything else that I might do about this situation over here. I think the southern flank of the First Army is in pretty good shape. The 6th, or no, I always get these guys mixed up. The 7th Armored Division, lighter green, and the 1st Infantry and the Parachute Brigade, that's all going pretty well. The Moroccans are always a disaster, but they're doing the best they can. So, I'll move this guy. All right, I'll go ahead and call it. Thanks again for watching. I always appreciate the participation, likes and comments and all of that good stuff. And I am looking forward to moving First Army, so I'll see you again on the next installment.